South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma pleaded not guilty in a much-postponed corruption case dating back more than 2 decades. The 79-year-old faces 16 charges of fraud, graft and racketeering relating to a 1999 purchase of fighter jets, patrol boats and military gear from 5 European arms firms for 30 billion rand, then the equivalent of nearly $5 billion. Zuma is accused of accepting bribes totaling 4 million rand from one of the firm's French defence giants Thales. Appearing at the High Court in an impeccably dressed suit, in a dark blue suit that is, and a red tie, an impassive Zuma pleaded not guilty.
Mr. Zuma, could I ask you to stand, please?
Yes.
How do you plead to them?
I plead not guilty.
Now, Zuma, through his legal team, has asked for the National Prosecution Team lead prosecutor to be recused, stating that he is not independent and that he is biased.
Under Section 35(3) of the Constitution, for which it is necessary that Mr. Downer be removed as a prosecutor in the case. 15. Furthermore, there are facts and circumstances that give me a reasonable impression that Mr. Downer has conducted himself in this case in a manner that lacks the independence and impartiality that is necessary for a lawful prosecution.
While the ex-South African president faced the trial, his supporters continue to rally behind their leader. Listen in.
I believe in the president and his innocence, and we don't stand here because we're a cult or we are naive or we are brainwashed. We're here to support him, particularly me, first of all because he's from Ghana, and the president did a lot of things for us as black people.
Like any other leader of the African National Congress, we have learned to support every leader. We are just awaiting for the court. It's the court that will then tell us whether what happened is truth or not.
Zuma's plea concludes years of delay in the long-awaited trial, which many South Africans say will deliver the verdict of history on his turbulent presidency. Prosecutors intend to call around 200 witnesses, a trial which has seen many twists and turns, and Zuma's team even claiming interference from the American spy agency CIA.
Zuma has raised a number of the issues that he has previously ventilated in his multiple attacks on the prosecution against him, including his argument that his prosecution has been too tainted by political interference and undue delay to continue. In these latest plea documents, Zuma also argues that intelligence agencies, including the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency of America, may have interfered in his prosecution. The prosecution has indicated that they will oppose his application, his special plea, and they believe that the case should continue.
This is an indication that constitutional democracy in South Africa, the rule of law in democracy pertains, that is, regardless of one's political status in society, one still has to account for whatever the charges have been laid upon that person. However, this will not necessarily stop political mobilization in his favor, because the assumption is that he is a victim of political manipulation and the use of state resources to deal with political adversaries. However, at the end of the day, it is the court, the judicial system that is going to determine whether he is guilty or not.
The ruling African National Congress forced Zuma to resign in 2018 after a mounting series of scandals. His downfall was linked to his controversial links to the Gupta brothers, who hail from India. Under his 9-year tenure, say critics, corruption and cronyism flourished, and billions of dollars in state assets and business were siphoned off. His successor, Cyril Ramaphosa, has vowed to stamp out graft, but is meeting resistance from pro-Zuma figures who command grassroots support in the ANC party. For more on this, our South Africa correspondent, Calden Ongmu, has sent us more details in this next report. Take a look.
The arms deal corruption trial of former President Jacob Zuma has been postponed to July 19, 2021 for adjudication of the special plea brought by Zuma and his team. Zuma has sought removal of lead state advocate in the case, Billy Downer, and has said that he is not independent and he is biased. Should he win this battle, Zuma wants to be acquitted. Both the accused, that is Zuma and French arms company Thales, pleaded not guilty to all the charges of fraud, corruption and racketeering. Downer also explained to Judge Pete Cohen that the state also needed time to go through the application submitted by Zuma and his team. Downer said he could not be involved in drafting a response as he was the subject of the plea. So this has been clear that even before the court can actually begin with this arms deal corruption trial, they will have to hear the special plea matter brought forward by Zuma and his team on July 19, 2021. This is Kalden Ongmu from Johannesburg, South Africa for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.